is testing XRP for dollar settlements. According to Jerome Powell's recent confirmation, everything is altered by this. This is a moment that will change the game. The Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, just made a statement that has the potential to completely upend the global financial system. He stated something you won't believe. According to reports, XRP is being tested by the Fed for US dollar settlements. Yes, exactly. The most influential financial institution in the world is now considering XRP, a cryptocurrency that was formerly thought of as a fringe digital asset, as a possible instrument for the future of international banking. Even though Powell's hint was ambiguous and obscure, it has the potential to trigger an unheard of spike in XRP's value. So allow me to explain. Everyone has heard about digital currencies issued by central banks, and everyone has made some guesses about which blockchain technology will serve as the foundation for these digital currencies. However, Jerome Powell's latest statement did not establish the existence of a new enigmatic digital dollar. In fact, it's a clear sign that XRP might be the missing component needed to resolve US Treasury settlements. For its digital dollar, the Federal Reserve is not merely experimenting with any old system. Allegedly, they settle transactions around the clock using XRP. Furthermore, this is no little experiment. According to reports, the Fed is evaluating XRP's capacity to manage enormous volumes of transactions that take place continuously. If this is accurate, it marks a significant turning point for XRP and Ripple. Let's discuss the significance of this. For many years, the Federal Reserve has dominated US monetary policy and shaped the Fed's when things start to become really interesting and could change the game. The Federal Reserve would have $300 billion, 0 cents worth of XRP if it held only 1% of that debt. And that shortage would force the price of XRP to sharply increase, as there are now only 50 billion XRP tokens in circulation. In fact, it would probably cause XRP to skyrocket to $10,000, 0 cents per coin. Consider it. The Federal Reserve will not simply have a tiny quantity of XRP on hand. To deal with the number of US Treasury settlements, they will probably require enormous amounts of it. The price of XRP may quickly reach the tens of thousands of dollars per coin if only 1% of US debt is satisfied with it. Furthermore, this is not merely a theoretical notion. The fact that scarcity raises value in the cryptocurrency market supports it. Since the US dollar is used in almost every sector of the global economy, the Federal Reserve and the US government have always taken care to keep it under control. However, we are referring to the Federal Reserve here. Unless a cryptocurrency can help them meet their needs, they are not the kind to embrace it. Additionally, it is evident that they view the future of US dollar settlements linked to Ripple and XRP if they are testing XRP for a 24/7 settlement. What does that signify for you, though? The Federal Reserve would effectively solidify XRP's position in the international banking system if it included it in its settlement mechanism. XRP would be acknowledged as an essential component of the US financial system rather than being seen as just another cryptocurrency. Its worth would skyrocket as a result. We are discussing a resource that has the potential to become the new norm for international digital transactions. The twist is here, not just the Federal Reserve is investing in XRP. Banks and institutions all across the world are already becoming more interested in Ripple's technology. Major banks are secretly hoarding XRP for future use, according to sources inside Ripple. Furthermore, it goes beyond a few thousand tokens here and there. They're buying in significant quantities, and it's easy to understand why. They wish to prepare for a future in which XRP is the norm for financial transactions. Imagine, if you will, that all of the world's top banks and financial institutions will be using XRP for their settlements in the very near future. When this occurs, what do you think will happen to the price of XRP? It's about to blow up. You can be sure that other nations and central banks will follow suit if the Fed is already taking steps to use XRP for settlements. Here's the catch, though. The largest institutional entities in the world will be vying for XRP alongside individual investors like you and me. You may believe that there is still time to invest, but believe me when I say that the price of XRP will skyrocket and the window of opportunity will quickly close once the Fed and the biggest institutions in the world begin using it. The actual danger here is that XRP may be locked off by the Fed and other big organizations, making it even more difficult for individual investors to obtain it. The US government may enact regulations that limit retail purchases of XRP, or even make it more impossible to obtain any if they have accumulated a certain amount. This may well be the next stage in the government's regulation of cryptocurrencies, which we have already witnessed. Therefore, you must take action right away to make sure you don't miss the upcoming spike. Now's the moment to enter. It's not merely a rumor that the Fed will test XRP for dollar settlements. when it's taking place, and everything will alter as a result. With XRP at its core, the global financial system is undergoing a significant upheaval. XRP is positioned to displace conventional systems due to its low cost, fast speed, and widespread acceptance. As a result, its price is expected to increase in direct proportion to its uptake. In summary, take advantage of the current low price and get in now. XRP is a key player in the financial future that is developing right before our eyes. However, the window of opportunity is rapidly closing, and regular investors may be shut out once the government and institutions have finished accumulating. Purchase XRP now before it's too late. That concludes the video for today. We hope it was interesting and thought-provoking. Regarding the Federal Reserve's decision to test XRP for treasury settlements, what are your thoughts? Do you believe that it will soon reach $10,000, 0 cents per coin? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Your insights are fascinating to read. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends and family if you found it useful and enjoyable. To ensure you don't miss any updates on XRP's price spike, don't forget to click the bell icon. Stay educated, stay ahead of the curve. And I'll see you at the next one. Be careful. Warning.